Good evening and welcome to tonight's webinar where we're going to take you through the first few months as a TC. I've got Krystle here with me on the couch.
Hi everyone.
And Krystle and myself will be taking you through the program tonight. We're going to be talking with two TCs that have joined us in the recent past, and we'll also speak with Simon Gatt, who is one of our business development coaches. If you would like to talk to us, please shoot us an email on webinar@travelcounsellors.com.au and we'll hopefully be able to answer your questions live on the show. But you can also call us on 1300 889 123 throughout the show, and we'll hopefully answer your queries for you. So let's get tonight's show started, and Krystle will be joined on the couch first up with one of our new TCs, Julie.
Hi everyone. Tonight we're joined by Julie, who started with us in the June induction. Thanks for joining us tonight,
That's
Julie.
okay, my pleasure.
Thank you. So I just wanted to get you on tonight to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Ask you how you found the process about joining Travel Counsellors. So how did you hear about Travel Counsellors initially?
Well, actually I was made redundant from Qantas Airways, and Simon Gatt was, I actually worked with him, and he was a business development manager with you. We had numerous conversations about your organisation, and it sounded fantastic, and I wanted to give it a crack at working on my own and still staying in the travel industry without having to be tied to a headset and a centre or Amex or somewhere like that. So I came in to meet you all.
Fantastic. And so from the initial process of meeting us, can you explain what the process was, sort of from initially meeting us down to your induction?
Well, I came along with a couple of colleagues from Qantas, and we met the team here, filled out some application forms. We went through what you actually did here, what sort of products you offer and marketing and the help that you offer. So that was a nice afternoon. So from that afternoon, I decided that I'd join, and it's been fantastic ever since.
Excellent. So after we got your application forms back, we've decided to take you on board. Then, of course, is the exciting part, which is induction. How would you describe induction for everyone watching?
Oh, look, induction was good. It was very informative. It was 3 days. It was quite gruelling. It was a bit of a learning curve for me because I came from a different environment from Qantas, where it was more just fares based. I know my geography, but I'm not familiar with suppliers. So in that aspect, it was good. It was quick. I probably would have liked a little bit more training, but that's probably because of my background, not being familiar with suppliers and the whatnot. But other than that, it was fantastic. So the staff were great, and everyone in the office was fantastic, and it was quite enjoyable. It went very quickly. So it was good.
Excellent. It's interesting that you say that, because from that feedback, what we have decided to do is actually bring on a 4th day so that the induction isn't rushed, so that you can spend an extra day with us in the office at your choice. It also means that, if you do have bookings to start with, you can do that in the office and have all of the help here. So we do have an internal wholesale system called Phoenix, which we've spoken about on numerous occasions. But how would you describe Phoenix, or how easy do you find Phoenix to use?
Oh, look, Phoenix has been good. It's sort of Windows-based, so I suppose you don't have to be Einstein to use it. You have to follow all the processes, but fortunately, you can just ring into the office when you don't know what you're quite doing. My first booking, I sort of went back and fro. Luckily, it was from a brother, but we fixed it all up with the help of everybody. Not that I made a mistake, but just the process of what I had to do. But no, it's very easy to use. So it's fairly self-explanatory, I think.
Excellent, excellent. And the more bookings you make, the more practice you'll have, and
of course,
it'll be like second nature.
Yes. It's like that with any new job. I think that it takes a bit of time to understand everything that goes on. So.
Fantastic. And what message would you have for everyone who's watching at home who might be a little bit hesitant and making that first step to contact us? Do you have a message that you could pass on?
Well, if I think that why not give it a go if you're in that industry and you've got contacts and you know people. I mean, it is a little bit slow to start with, but I knew that would be the case. You just have to build confidence with people. But slowly now, people are starting to ring me and email me and want to know all about what I can offer them, or, you know, I've got a couple of flight bookings and some people wanting to go to Thailand for Christmas. So, yeah, I think it slowly comes on board, and the more people you know and the more networking you do. Yeah.
Right. We've just had a question come in from Michelle, who she just wants to know how you found the transition moving from an office-based environment to working from home.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I quite enjoyed the experience. In the office, I felt like I was brain dead, doing the same thing over and over again. I was stuck to a headset and answering the same questions. With this, I've been to lots of industry nights. I've met different people, had some great food, lots of wine. So I'm learning about all different destinations, not just actually, you know about destinations, but I'm actually going to these industry nights and getting a good feel of what I'm trying to sell, different cruise lines. So I'm actually meeting more people than ever before, because with my other job, I'd just come home and sort of plonk myself there. So I don't mind that, and it works quite well for me. I can get everything done at home and go to the gym in the morning and still go to work. So it's good.
Fantastic.
It's really good.
I think that's a really reasonable question as well, because we do understand that some people might be scared about making that transition across. But like Julie has said, you should be out there networking, going to the industry nights. You will probably be more busy and more, I guess, have a better social life than you did when you were in an office.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
Well, I'm going to a networking meeting tonight. So, I mean, you're just meeting different people. You're just chatting. But still, some interesting people have come up from that. One girl going to China and going to see the Great Buddha. And so I looked that up. And,
fantastic.
I mean, that's a great thing to sell as well. So
Thanks for that, Julie. And to Michelle for your question. Don't forget, if you do have any questions, you can email us at webinar@travelcounsellors.com.au. Next up, Veronica will be linking in with Nadine New, who is one of our travel counsellors in Perth, via Skype.
Okay, so Nadine, how did you first find out about Travel Counsellors?
Okay, so I first found a friend that I used to work with at American Express. She was one of my friends on Facebook, and I noticed that she'd been posting things about travel counsellors, and I contacted her, and then ended up speaking with her over the phone, and she told me all about it.
Okay, and then from there, did you contact us at Travel Counsellors, or was it that we made the initial contact? How did that happen?
Kerry put me in contact with Travel Counsellors. I think she referred me, and then they contacted me and we spoke over the phone.
Yeah. Okay, and this is, I know it was me that contacted you, so it's always a bit weird about talking about the person sitting in front of you. But how was that initial interaction? You know, was it an informative one, or?
It was. It was friendly and welcoming and informative. Kerry had already told me a lot of information, but I just had a few questions, and you were able to answer them straight away. And then from there, you sent me out the information pack that had even more detailed information in it.
And how did you find that information pack? Did you was it informative? Was it a really good indication of what the company is, or?
It was. It was really informative and very professional, and really detailed, and it was really good. It was a good pack.
Excellent. And I guess throughout that whole process, it's not necessarily a quick one. It's something that can take, it can take weeks in some instances if people are moving really quickly, or it can take months. How was that? Did you feel like you had enough interaction and that it was done at a pace that was right for you?
Yeah, definitely. I ended up actually going and meeting up with another travel counsellor that lives closest to me, like the next suburb, and I was a little concerned that being so close, I was worried I might be stepping on her toes a bit.
Yep.
So I ended up going and having coffee with her and talking about her experience at Travel Counsellors and how she felt about me coming on board and living so close to her. So that, that was a week or two, and then I went on holidays for a couple of weeks. So I actually took the information pack with me, and I took my time making sure I was making the right decision. There was no rush into it. It was. As long as I needed, pretty much, it was good.
Good. All right, so you did join us and we were super excited when you did. So let's talk a little bit about induction. You obviously had to travel from Perth to Melbourne to come to head office, but how did you find that interaction, meeting head office staff and I think meeting some other travel counsellors as well?
It was brilliant. Everyone in head office was just so upbeat and positive and energetic, and I came away from those 3 days so pumped and so ready to go and just get stuck into it. And it was great to meet the other travel counsellors, and we had all come from different parts of the industry, a real varied background. Yeah. And there was another girl in the induction from WA, so it was good to have both of us there, and we've kept in contact and had coffees and lunches and everything since then. So, the induction was brilliant. It was full of information and a really friendly, positive welcome to the company.
Yeah, excellent. And so in terms of, the content of induction, just really quickly, you do get a lot of information, but did you find that you got the right information and you could absorb it all?
Yes.
Yeah. So it wasn't too full on in that aspect.
No, I didn't come away feeling overwhelmed. I came away just really excited and pumped and just couldn't wait to get back and start quoting and getting on the system and having a play and getting stuck into it.
Awesome. And I guess one thing that is new to anybody who joins Travel Counsellors is Phoenix. Now, how quickly did you learn to use Phoenix, or how easy was it to learn how to use?
I found it really easy. It is just a point and click, pretty much, drop down lists. I found it great. Really easy to use.
Excellent, awesome. And I guess you left induction and you said you were on a real high, and actually your induction group from memory was fantastic. It was full of energy, like all of them are, but yours did have a bit of a sense of something really special because of the people that were in it. But let's talk about that support immediately after induction. Now, I think Chris is your BD, is that right?
She is now. Initially, when I started, it was Adele.
Okay, yep, and Adele's gone away on mat leave, so yep. Yeah.
So for the first couple of weeks after I came back from induction, Adele and I spoke every week, and then as she started to wind up, then I was on Chris's team, and now I speak to Chris at least once a week, sometimes more, and she's always available no matter what time of day. I think in the first couple of weeks I messaged her on a Saturday night because I needed help with something, and she came straight back to me. It was amazing.
Oh, good job. And what about, obviously Chris is your business development coach, and she's probably the one that supports you through that the most. But what about the other staff from head office in terms of if you're ringing to ask for things? How receptive and quick acting are they?
Everyone is wonderful. I never feel like I'm interrupting them or I'm bothering them. They're always there to answer any question. And if they don't know the answer straight away, then they'll get back to me as quickly as possible. They've been great.
Awesome. And I guess even on a broader level in terms of support, do you use the message boards and link to talk to other travel counsellors as well?
Yes, definitely. Mainly the message boards. Probably every day or every second day maybe. Yeah. Literally every time I get a new inquiry, I would go straight to the message board and either look for older posts that might have the information I'm looking for, or I'll just start a new post. And there's always plenty of people that are happy to provide their advice and feedback and direction. And it's really, really great. It's I guess it's like being in an office with people, but instead of having them next to you, then they're online.
Yeah. Awesome. And what about the webinar training that we do on kind of a weekly or twice weekly basis in some instances? Have you been, registering and using those as well?
Yes, as much as I possibly can. I'm always watching the TCTV of a Wednesday,
Yep.
and then all the other webinars that come in. Watching as much as I can. Sometimes I do have my youngest child at home with me, so I can't always log in if she's with me. But then I can always look back at the recording when at a time that suits me.
Yeah, perfect. And then I guess you've now kind of graduated from our 12-week intensive starter program in that respect. So you've also come back to head office for our second lot of training, which was Super Seller, yes?
Yes.
Yep, okay. And how did you find that, I guess, in different to induction and things like that?
It was great. It was so good to come back and talk to the other travel counsellors to see how their first 12 weeks were going and what hurdles they'd come across and how they dealt with them. And there was also another group of travel counsellors. I think there was an extra 4 that I got to meet that was at Super Seller at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was good to hear from them. And we also, as part of that training, we also had one of the local travel counsellors in Melbourne come in. That she'd been with the company for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it was good to also pick her brain and ask her lots of questions about how it was for her when she first started, and now 5 years down the track, how it is. And yeah, I found Super Seller really, really good. It was great.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of reinvigorated or gave you some more ideas?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I came with heaps of questions.
Yeah.
And, just a recap, I guess a lot of stuff we did cover in induction, but if you're not doing it all the time, you tend to forget. So that Super Seller 12-week training is a good way to recap on who to contact, what emails to use, and procedure type stuff. It was good.
Oh, awesome. All right, so you have actually had quite a few successes for someone who has only started in the last few months, which is amazing and exactly how we would like all of our travel counsellors to be. But in terms of that, do you think that you've met or exceeded your expectations in terms of sales in the first few months?
I have definitely exceeded them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
I had had a huge South America booking. I think it was over $80,000 in value for 4 people. So, and that was a big challenge for me, really detailed. They wanted a private tour just for the 4 of them for 6 weeks. So I keep looking at it now as probably one of my toughest bookings that I could have, even over the next couple of years, and to have it so early on.
Yep.
It was good because I keep thinking to myself, well, if I can get through this, I can get through anything.
You've had the hardest one first up.
Yeah, that's been good.
Good job. And how did you find those clients?
They're actually a friend, the parents of my best friend.
Well,
so
awesome.
I think that made it a bit harder as well because I know them, and obviously for friends for everyone you want to get it perfect, but it was probably good having them because I think they understand that I'm new back into the industry for the first time for a couple of years, so they were a bit more understanding as well. So it was
awesome.
good.
But also sometimes they're the hardest ones to please as well because they want you don't want anything to go wrong. Not that you do with any client, but yeah, that's good. And I guess in terms of, obviously you've had that brilliant success with your booking and it was amazing. What about kind of other bookings or inquiries or building your database? How are you finding that?
Yeah, really good. For the first time last week, I got an inquiry off someone that I don't know that was referred on from a friend.
Yep.
So I'm in the middle of doing that quote.
Yep.
But I think it's good. Like initially, I didn't come with a database at all. It's literally just my family and friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think if I'm doing this well just with family and friends, I can only imagine how well the potential is for some consultants that come over with already a database. Must be amazing.
Yeah. And have you and Chris, I guess, together discussed how you're going about, in terms of your networking or getting your name out there?
Yes. Yeah. So we've got together and discussed that and looked at goals and setting goals for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, on ways to build my database and get my name out there more in the community and become better known. And heaps of support from Chris as to how we can grow things.
Amazing. All right, well, thank you so much for talking to us, Nadine. I guess I just kind of wanted to wrap up with, we think you're a superstar and we think you're going to be even better. But what are your thoughts on joining Travel Counsellors, or recommendations you would make to others who might potentially be thinking about joining us?
I would say yes, definitely join. For me, it is a great work-life balance for my family, for the children. I can be, a drop-off, I can be a pick-up. If they've got something on at school, I can just walk up to the school and be there. And for that, I just think that is so important. And I'm doing a job that I love. It doesn't even feel like work. I love researching holidays and looking into things for people. So, yeah, go for it. It's great.
Okay. Thanks again, Nadine. And I've just realised that whilst we were talking, that an email has come through from David, and it just says, as a fellow Western Australian, how do you find the support not being on the East Coast? Now, I'm sorry, David, but we have lost connection with Nadine, but I'll happily answer that question on her behalf if you like. So although our standard head office hours are East Coast based, so we do work 9 till 5:30 Melbourne time, we do have a 24/7 support network from our UK office. So when we're offline here, and although we say 5:30, we are always available after hours if you need us, and we do have an emergency line that is available to your clients as well. But when we're not here, the UK has come online, and so you get that full support that we offer here at our Australian head office from our UK staff as well as from our other head offices around the world. So in South Africa, in Dubai, in Belgium, in Ireland, and in the Netherlands as well. So the support is definitely there, but apologies, David. If you want, send me an email later and I can organise for you to talk to Nadine yourself, seeing as you're both in the Perth region. So coming up next, we're going to be joined by Simon Gatt, one of our business development coaches. And now we're joined on the couch by Simon. Now, Simon is one of our business development coaches, and you've been with us, or in our team, since June, is that right?
Since June of this year, yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for coming and talking to us today, Simon.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, the first question I'm going to ask you is really about your initial contact with any potentials or people that are looking to join Travel Counsellors.
Yep.
So we do ask business development to get involved in the recruitment process, don't we?
We do. Yeah, so the reason for that is basically so we can try and understand what the thought process is with respect to starting your own business. I like to have a look and ask questions with what their thoughts are in networking, if they're comfortable in owning their own business, if you like, and what they perceive it to be, which is always a good one to ask.
Yeah, to get their frame in the right mind.
Yeah, just to start sort of...
That was the wrong way around,
correct,
but you know what I meant?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
It's just good to see that the thought process, because sometimes there's that little bit of a situation where people haven't really maybe thought it through, but it's good for us to be able to understand exactly what they're wanting out of their own business, what they're going to be expecting, what it's like to be working for yourself and not for somebody else. And just to really knock that all out.
Awesome. Simon, some of our potentials who are watching may have already been asked by Krystle or myself to complete an AVA profile,
yep,
which is the personality profile that some of you may have done, but is definitely part of our recruitment process. Now, why is it that we get our travel counsellors to complete those personality profiles?
The AVA is a really, really good positive tool. It's really good to use for the to sort of assess personality, if you like. And with us in BD, we use it in the sense where we have a look at the AVA, assess it, and in the sense that we can try and adapt a method of working with you, if you like, that best suits you. So we don't want to have people out there doing things that they don't wish to do or not comfortable in doing. So it's more about learning about the personality more so, and being able to adapt a style of business development that best suits the TC.
Yeah, it does. And there's obviously yourself and Chris in the business development
Correct.
team now that Adele has gone on maternity leave.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes that does kind of, that certain personalities either sit better with yourself or Chris. So sometimes it's the determining factor as to who will work best with you and get the most out of you. Is that right?
There is that. And also with the understanding of the AVA, I mean, it's not a great thing to basically send somebody out to do a public speaking type role to develop and establish their business when they're not very comfortable in doing so. So we'd actually work with them to look at working in situations where they are comfortable.
Yeah, and one thing I guess that has become very apparent from myself, and I hope I can speak for Krystle on this behalf as well, is that there is not one personality that sits good as a travel counsellor. Everyone does it a little bit differently. Everyone's business is a little bit different. And so that profile just makes sure that we're pushing the right people in the right directions in terms of how to build their businesses.
Yeah, very much so. And with us, I mean, as we say, it is very personal with us, and that's the way it's conducted all the way through. So how the TC interacts with their customers and how we, BD or anybody here at head office with the travel counsellor, very much in a personal effect.
Yeah, definitely. So don't be scared of the AVAs if we ask you to do them.
No,
they're really a good tool
and we've
for
all
you
done
to
them
build your
as well.
business. We have, and I've read everyone's too. So it's always good. So I guess the next process or the first real process of everyone being introduced to head office in a formal capacity is induction.
Yep.
Now, we always do run our inductions in Melbourne.
Yes.
And it's now over a 4-day period.
Yep.
But why is it important for our new travel counsellors to come to Melbourne?
Induction is very much the building block. So this is where everything becomes really cemented in how your business is going to be starting, how it's going to be launched and everything like that. So it gives you a lot of your framework, a lot of your base knowledge, if you like, within our business, within Travel Counsellors, and some really good structure for yourselves, building your own business where, all the tools that we sort of give, the advice that we give and the learning that you receive is second to none. So it's really a big part of your business structure and start.
Yeah, perfect. I completely agree. And I think everyone who comes to induction loves it. It's 4 days for them to focus on starting their business.
Yeah.
And they love the aspect of meeting all of the people in head office and realising that we do really walk the talk, that everyone is there to be supportive and helpful.
Very much so. And we love the interaction too. So basically everybody will have a very different question. So we adapt the induction. We do have a set format for the induction, but very much so it's done in a way that by the end of induction, it is a celebration, it is a launch of your business, and you're very much so ready to take on the world at that point, basically.
Yeah. I guess induction is also the point where Krystle and I hand over our babies to BD. So what happens after induction? What is the process and that support like once induction is completed and they start their initial 12-week program?
Yeah, so basically after induction, induction may finish on the Thursday or a Friday, so you get a couple of days off, and then BD starts very much so after that. So business development, we have a 12-week program where basically we're in touch with you every single week, just basically giving you support and guidance and advice. We run a new start program as well, so basically we do a lot of workshops via webinars and links and all those sort of things. So there's a lot of support so when you do leave induction and you are happy and everything is really, really good, that support continues on from then on in. So you're not basically, turn up to your office on the Monday morning in your home there and think, well, now what? So we basically really, really take on from there.
Okay, yeah, you do. You guys are always on the phone. You're always talking to BD. We've always got people calling through the head office, which we love, and it really just makes everyone feel like a really big part of a great team. I think.
Very much so.
I guess so. On from that as well, what are some of the examples of how you can help TCs build their businesses? Like, what are some of the things that you would encourage people to do in the early days?
Yeah, this is very, very vast. So we take on anything from it, depending on the TC or the applicant, of course.
Always.
Depending on them and what they're really, really comfortable with. But normally we go always with the tried and proven, where basically we do the basic networking skills with respect to friends and families, and then having a look at knowing exactly what they do and how we can network from there. So that is very much your shop front, if you like. And we have a look at obviously, working within social media, getting that out and about and sort of really developing from there. And then more so working closely again with what you have locally. So some people might be, in particular memberships or subscriptions or gyms or whatever it might be, where they find it easy. So we work in a way that, you're comfortable in doing something, and basically accelerating it from that. And then once you're cemented in that early stage of business development, if you like, then we have a look at other opportunities. So basically looking at more of a structured networking groups, or maybe, business type focuses, forums, what's out in your local council. We do a lot of work to help develop that structure.
Yeah, and like you said, it is all dependent on the individual and what they're comfortable
Very
with
much
and
so.
where they want to strive.
Yeah, so there's no, we can be very adept with respect to the applicant, so there's no forceful pushing or anything like that. You know, there is forceful pushing if that's what you require, and that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
But for somebody who really wants to be eased into it and just get some really good base knowledge, we're there for that as well.
Yeah, perfect. Now, when you were speaking about the New Starter program, you briefly touched on webinars.
Yes.
But could you just explain, I guess, a little bit more what a webinar is and how they work?
So webinars are actually quite interactive. So we would send out a link via an email, and through our system, if you like, our telephone system, you'd be able to click on that link and you'd be joining a live webinar. So you'd be on with your headphones and you'd be able to interact with the person conducting the webinar.
Yeah.
So, and we'd ask questions. So it's really nice to have that interaction because, you know, we can actually, you know, answer questions at the time, give advice, and really, really explain what the content is. And that's quite good because at that point, when you are sharing so much information with so many other TCs, some really good, valuable bits and pieces of advice actually do come through. So it's quite good.
Definitely. Thanks so much for coming in, Simon.
That's right.
As usual, I've been ignoring the questions that have been popping up, so I'm just going to have a read of those. We've actually had a few messages in saying, oh, hi, Simon, we didn't realise you were at TC. So obviously a man well known in the industry, which is great.
Yep,
I'll let you know who they were, so you can get back to them later if you like. But we have had one question come through. Sorry, it's from Karen. And the question is, it's a simple one actually, is a BD session a time-consuming thing? How long do they usually go for?
No, so BD sessions, again, it's very adapted to the TC. So I've had a couple of BD sessions today which were only for 15 minutes because we're just doing follow-ups. But then usually we like to, anything between an hour or less than, it's really dependent on the TC. So there's no set framework. We've got some of our gold TCs who I do BDs with every second week because that's what they wish.
Yep.
And we would do the hour or so. So it's very, very bespoke in the sense that it is aligned for the applicant, for yourself, and basically where we work within that. So
yeah, and one thing I must say too, which is obviously being observant around the office and listening to people talk, is obviously your BD sessions definitely inspire the TCs, but I quite often hear you and Chris getting off the phone and going, oh, that's such a brilliant idea, I need to tell everyone else that. Or
and we're always sharing.
You guys always get as inspired, I guess, by what the TCs are doing as they do by what you're doing for them, which I think is great and shows that the community and the family that TC is.
Yeah, and the beauty is, I mean, everybody's learning. So, you know, by sharing of information, I pick up on some points. I think, well, that really, really works. That's something really, really good. So we do share it with the TCs and vice versa. So as we share our knowledge, you know, it comes back.
Yeah, great. Thanks for the question, Karen. It was a really good one and a very easy one for Simon to answer.
Thank you.
Simon, thank you very much for coming and talking to us. Now, I know that if anyone watching wants to have a further conversation with you, you would be more than happy to do that.
Yes, more than glad.
So if anyone does want to have more of a chat with BD, with Simon or indeed with Chris, then let us know and we can certainly arrange that for you. Next up, I'm going to be joined again by Krystle on the couch, and we're just going to wrap up to tonight's webinar.
The Walkers love being out on the water and were looking for a winter beach holiday, but yet with a difference. So they came to me, Jack, their personal travel counsellor, because not only am I a keen sailor, well, I have been holidaying in the Cook Islands since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I selected hotels I knew were packed to the rafters with ringos and jet skis and kayaks. Plus, I chartered them a yacht for a couple of days, told them the best places to dock at night, suggested some secluded beaches, and booked them into a couple of my favourite restaurants. Kate told me they all loved every minute, but the card Sam sent me said it better. Travel Counsellors. With us, it's personal.
Okay. Thanks, Veronica. That was a great interview with Simon.
Yeah, look, I think that was more Simon than me, but yeah, definitely great content and good things to know.
Excellent. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget, we are here to answer all of your questions. Just wanted to remind everybody or let everybody know that we are holding a Discovery Day here in the Melbourne office next Wednesday, the 9th of September, where you can come into the office, you can meet the staff, you can have a look at all of the facilities that we have on offer. It's not a hotel, but
So come in and meet everyone at head office, find out what we're really all about, and by all means come and have some lunch with us and watch our live TCTV broadcast as well if you would like. But also, Krystle, we're not only in Melbourne and doing events in Melbourne, but we will be travelling around the country very much in the next couple of months. So if you want to join in any of our events, which are in all states, I think, between now and the end of October, I think we're covering all of the states in a few venues. So jump on our recruitment website, have a look where those events are, and please register for them. I think the link is just popping up on the bottom of the screen now, but we're always more than happy to talk to you, and we love to see you in person when we're out on the road. So please let us know if you're available.
Yes, thank you. Really want to meet you. So get in touch. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
Have
thanks.
a good night.
See you next time. Bye.